Everyone, welcome to our channel. So in this particular session we are going to discuss the most important 50 questions of English literature for your upcoming exam. So before moving further, please make sure you have subscribed the channel and press the bell icon for upcoming regular updates. And before we begin, please subscribe the channel, like the video and share it with your friends. So let's start. Here we have our first question. First question is, who coined the term objective correlative? Objective correlative is a term which was coined by T.S. Eliot. Option C is the right answer. Next question. Which novel by Virginia Woolf experiments most explicitly with stream of consciousness? So here we have our right answer, option A, The Waves. The Waves is a novel by Virginia Woolf and it experiments most explicitly with the stream of consciousness. Okay? Next, who is the central character in the Philip Sidney's Arcadia? So you have to remember the work name, which is the Arcadia. It's a work of Philip Sidney, and you have to tell who is the central character in this particular work of Philip Sidney. So our right answer is option A, Pyroclus. Next question. In the Rape of Lock, what does Belinda's lock of hair become at the end? So it's option C, a constellation. Option C is the right answer. So you have just remember this thing. Belinda is a character from the Rape of Lock. Next question. Who among the following is a Jacobean playwright? Thomas Keat, John Webster, Christopher Marlowe, or Robert Greene? So the right answer is option B. John Webster is a Jacobean playwright. Next question. Which of the following is not a work by Matthew Arnold? Culture and Anarchy, Study of Poetry, Literature and Dogma, or The Function of Criticism at the Present Time? So right answer is option C, which is Literature and Dogma. It's not a work by Matthew Arnold, and you have to remember all these three: Culture and Anarchy, Study of Poetry, and The Function of the Criticism at the Present Time. These are all the work of Matthew Arnold. Next, who wrote the essay Tradition and the Individual Talent? So, Tradition and the Individual Talent is an essay written by T.S. Eliot. Option B is the right answer. Next, in line, April is the cruelest month. Most important lines appears in which of the following work? So, right answer is option A, The Wasteland. It's a work of T.S. Eliot. April is the cruelest month. Next question. Who edited The Sacred Woods? The Sacred Woods, edited by T.S. Eliot. Option C is the right answer. Next, Cry the Peacock was written by. So it's a work of Anita Desai. Next, The Mirror and the Lamp is a study by. The Mirror and the Lamp is a study by M.H. Abrams. Option A is the right answer. Next, Sartor Results is written by. So it's a work of Thomas Carlyle. Option B is the right answer. Next question. The genre of the Pilgrim's Progress is. So you have to tell what is the genre of this particular work, which is the Pilgrim's Progress. So its genre is allegory. It's an allegory. Option A is the right answer. Next, negative capability is a term associated with. So it's a term associated with Keats. Negative capability. Next question. Which of the following novels was not written by George Eliot? So it's Shirley. It it was written by the Charlotte Bronte. Option D is the right answer. And you have to remember all these three: the Felix Holt, Adam Bede, and Romola. These are all the works of George Eliot. Next, The Bloody Chamber is a collection of stories by. So, Bloody Chamber is a collection of stories and it's a work of Angela Carter. Option A is the right answer. Next, who wrote On the Sublime and Beautiful? So, On the Sublime and Beautiful is a work of Edmund Burke. Next question. The linguistic turn in theory is associated with. So, in theory, the linguistic turn is associated with the post structuralism. Option B is the right answer. Next, the Biographia Literaria was published in. The Biographia Literaria was published in 1817. Option A is the right answer. Next, which critic used the phrase hearsay of paraphrase? So, this particular phrase is used by a famous critic named the Clint Brooks. Option A is the right answer. Next, Godot never arrives in Waiting for Godots. Who first performed this play in English? So the right answer is option C. Arts Theatre London performed this play in English. The play titled as Godot Never Arrives in Waiting for Godot. Next, the angry young men were associated with. So the angry young men were associated with 1950s Britain. Option B is the right answer. Next, the novel Nectar in the Sea was written by most important novel of his whole life. It was written by Kamla Markande. Option A is the right answer. Next question. Which of these theorists is associated with the interpolation? So right answer is option B, Louis Althusser. Next question. Who wrote The Mad Woman in the Attic? So, The Mad Woman in the Attic is a work of Sandra Gilbert and Susan Goober. Option B is the right answer. Next, the first folio of Shakespeare was published in 1623. 1623, the first folio of Shakespeare was published. Nice. Next question. Who among these is a prominent post colonial critic? A prominent post-colonial critic you have to identify. So it's Edward Said. Option B. Next, which of the following is an epistolary novel? So it's Pamela. And please answer in the comment box who is the author of Pamela. Next, what is the subtitle of Frankenstein? So its subtitle is The Modern Prometheus. Next question. The prelude was subtitled as. So the prelude was subtitled as The Growth of a Poet's Mind. Option B is the right answer. Next question. Which novel is considered the first psychological novel in English? So the first psychological novel in English is considered Clarissa. Option A is the right answer. Clarissa is considered as the first psychological novel in English literature. Next, in which work does Derrida introduce difference? So the right answer is option C, Speech and Phenomena. Next, which of the following poets was not part of Lake School? So it's Shelley. And except Shelley, all these three, which is Coleridge, Wordsworth, and the Southey, they are the part of Lake School. Next question. Who wrote Nolly Me Tangere? So it was written by Josh Rizal. Next question. The Dubliners is a collection of stories by W.B.S. James Joyce, Samuel Beckett, or the Seamus Heaney. So the right answer is option B, James Joyce. Next, who among these was part of Bloomsbury Group? So the right answer is option A, Virginia Woolf was a part of Bloomsbury Group. Next, who wrote The Anxiety of Influence? So it was written by Harold Bloom. Option A is the right answer. Next, the theater of the absurd is associated with. So the theater of absurd is associated with Martin Aslin. Next question. Who is the author of Orientalism? So Orientalism, it was Edward Said. Next, the death of the author is a concept popularized by. So the death of author is a concept which was popularized by the Roland Barthes. Next question. A passage to India is set in the fictional town of So in the fictional town of Chandrapur. Option A is the right answer. Next, who described the novel as a loose baggy monster? So the right answer is James Henry James. He described the novel as a loose baggy monster. Next question. The Second Sex was written by. So it's a work of Simon de Beauvoir. Option A is the right answer. Next, who first used the term metaphysical poets? So this particular term, which is metaphysical poets, was first used by Samuel Johnson. Option B is the right answer. Next, the Golden Notebook was written by. So the Golden Notebook was written by Doris Lessing. Next, who wrote The Man Within? It's a work of Graham Greene. Option A is the right answer. The Man Within is a work of Graham Greene. Next, the carnival and the carnival skew are terms associated with. So these are terms associated with Mikhail Bakhtin. Option A is the right answer. Next, the center cannot hold mere anarchy is loosed upon the word is from. So these lines are from W.B. Yeats, The Second Coming. The Second Coming is a work of W.B. Yeats, and these popular lines are from this particular work. Next, who authors The Midnight's Children? So it's a famous work of Salman Rushdie. Who introduced the concept of thick description in cultural criticism? So it's Clifford Geertz. Option A is the right answer. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.